Hey guys, Vince here from the studio. I want to speak about the course that I'm doing for a few months now. I've started with a beta version and I just launched the second version of it, which has a better structure, and I'm improving my techniques in recording the videos. I'm getting more used to it, more used to speak to the microphone and stuff like this. Also, the structure of the course got much better organized, and so I just want to review what is including in this project and what you're gonna get, or what you get if you come to my course. So here's just the text file of what the structure of it, of how it's going through. The very first part will be just a short presentation about little bio about my stuff, and how I've been coming to this, doing this, my experience through music in general, a little bit of blah blah about myself, I guess, and about the project itself. Then what I want to start from is to give the beginners the real basics that if you pretty much have never produced any music, and just give you the first theory about, how computer is dealing with audio, what is the analog versus digital, where it's happening, in conversion, this kind of stuff, the material you need in the first place, how does software works in general, and how to deal with it. Then understanding a few things with audio MIDI, what's volume, what's dB, what's RMS, all these. Then knowing how the audio routing is working in a studio or in a software, to see how we treat it, these kind of things. Then more basic stuff like how to deal with basic audio effects. Then understanding what's filtering, understanding the principle of frequencies, how to use an analyzer, frequency analyzer, and so on. Then a bit of a theory of synthesis. What's a synthesizer, how does it work, different modules, like compared to a modular synthesizer, like you have an oscillator, you have a filter, you have envelopes, and all these, how it is working in a plugin or in a modular world. Then some more stuff like this. So I want the beginners to first integrate all these theory. So you don't necessarily have to go through all this theory at first, but it's a good start, just understanding the vocabulary and all this. So that's the very first part of the class that I wanted to provide. And then my flow of the course will be to teach to beginners like Ableton. Like, let's start with Ableton from nothing. You don't know anything when you open it. And I will very quickly sort of try to amuse you to make cool stuff, because I think making music has to be fun to do. And if it's too technical, too hard to understand, it's you lose very quickly the fun of it. So really take few sounds, put them together, and then you create your first beat, and it's already a result of you just doing it. So I'm going to start from that, and then I'm going to pretty much demonstrate Ableton to the end in a very easy way. So this is like my beginners class, which is very step-by-step kind of process. I'm not going to detail all that because this is pretty much what I want to explain in the course. You can access this file if you want to, that is detailing the exact program. Okay, after teaching Ableton for the beginners, there is a bit of a section about showing all the plugins that I use and the ones that I recommend you to use, how to use VST, because VST is a third party, so you won't have it in Ableton. So how to install it and this kind of thing, which is still pretty topic for beginners. So then in my way of working, I use Cubase versus Ableton versus FL Studio. I use these three softwares for different reasons at different moments in my production techniques, and my main DAW is Cubase. So this is the DAW that I will demonstrate most of my course on. Then, but if you use Ableton as your main DAW, most of the users reported like, okay, I demonstrate on Cubase, but you can totally do the same thing in Ableton. You just have to translate it with what you see and what you hear. But so to go through the class, I will demonstrate how to use FL Studio. Nothing too complicated. This is already a bit more medium advanced users. So I'm going pretty quickly through like, okay, this is FL, this is how you manipulate it. And then you can use it on your own if you want to. And the same thing with Cubase. Cubase, how to start, how to get started with it. And then the rest you will learn as the class goes. Since I'm using these three softwares, of course, I need to rewire them. So there is a section about rewiring these softwares together. Next comes hardware, how to integrate hardware in your setup, how to use MIDI, how to use an external synth, how to record stuff, how to use an external effects processor, how to use a microphone to record your own samples and do some sound design creation, stuff like this. So a bit of section of hardware, this is a bit back to beginner, medium, or it's not too advanced, I would say. Next, I want to sort of divide a track in all the elements that are composing a track. So here you see on the list, kick and bass, of course, which is the main core of a track. Then all the drums separated that you create to pile them up together. Then all the synths like the leads, atmospheres, FX, how to put FX together, how to glitch them, how to, etc. work with these. This will be pretty much like how I create those sounds, what tools I use and how I manipulate them. Then the raise, the sweeps, like the long raising effects, the melodies, then sound design and sampling, these kind of things. So yeah, because then if you create all these events, all these elements individually, then what you do, then you create them and then you arrange them. You arrange them to create a piece of music. So then comes the section about arrangement and construction. How to arrange, how you build up a track, what basic understanding of a track structure or the bigger view of it. Then how you make it progress, how do you make it interesting, how you make it flow, how you make drops and breaks, then how do you bring a new sequence in and all this kind of stuff. So there are some that will be a bit subjective that I wrote in my class program because I think it's, depending on the style, depending on your taste, depending on what you want to do. So there will be some topics that are under discussions and I will just speak about them from my experience and see what I can bring. Some of the topics in that section like musical phrasing or how to build sequences, flow one thing to another, like legatos or link one thing to another, make subtleties, stuff like this, contrast, creating tension, and yeah. So this is not done yet. As I'm recording that video now, it's like I'm working on the class project, so it is not completely done. I will go through this making of all these topics and then I will redo or upgrade them or just create some extra videos to make them more accurate as the time goes. Okay, so we arranged it, we created the sounds, we arranged the track, we have a nice piece of music, and then we got to mix it. So this will come to the more technical side, which is EQing, compression, multiband compression, reverb, layering sound, like grouping tracks, all the send returns, side chaining, parallel compression, the routings in your project, measuring, using the analyzing tools and all that, etc., etc. I'm just mentioning a few of the list. The list is pretty long, and this is going to be quite some work to achieve. And for me, as a willing to give the informations to people from my point of view, yeah, it's gonna request me quite a bit of work. So I will happily do this, and I think this is pretty logical as I said, creating the sounds, being creative, arranging, making the track structure, then mixing all these, and what comes when your track is fully there and mixed, then you've got to master it and put it at a sort of standard level, standard sounding, as the market is demanding it to you. So yeah, mastering, whatever it involves, limiter, it's more about notions of how to handle the track at the last stage and get the most out of it. Yeah, and once we went through all this is quite some achievement already, I would say. After this will be demonstrations that will come about music styles, or they will totally be sort of reflecting the work that I'm personally doing. So I will show my way of working, how I make my tracks, how I will sort of make a track live, and record and comment what I'm doing. And also, since I'm doing quite a few different music genres in the scene, I will do pretty much a track or several tracks in few different genres. So I wrote down like down tempo will be chill out, then techno, psy techno, whatever we can call it. Progressive can be dark progressive or daytime progressive. Then more driving stuff, and then some night faster kind of music. Okay, that's gonna take me a while because it takes me a while to write a track. So if I record it and comment it, it's gonna also take quite some time, but I will get there. Then, just also to comment this specific thing, I totally did some demonstration about tracks that I'm already doing, and I'm not waiting this to do. So this is already available in the class, in the course that I'm providing, and it's just not complete tracks yet. It's just let's say I have good 4 times an hour video in a few different styles, I think, for now. So that's where it is today. Okay, next part will be jamming, jam sessions, jam and live situations, how to play live sets, how to play with stems, how to play with full mixed tracks and master tracks, how to play with loops. And recently I have so much pleasure in creating sort of jam sessions which include Ableton, sort of softwares and the hardware, and sort of make it play all together and being able to jam with it. So it's like you're not sitting on your computer just with the mouse looking at the screen. No, you're just standing in front of your computer. You have your controllers in front of you, and you play the whole thing that is happening. And I have a lot of pleasure doing this lately, and I'm totally going to show this in the class how I do this. Next section is about tips and tricks. So basically, I write myself. I have a notebook in my studio, or I have like notebook applications on my computer. I write down like ideas as soon as they hit my mind, because if I don't write them down, I will totally forget them. Even if I don't recall them so often, like I don't go through my notes so much, I'm totally happy that I write them down. And now, since I'm doing videos, I do my tricks and tips database on videos. So I'm like, hey Vince, like check this out, you forgot, or you should remember to do this. And I do a video for my own carnet de bord, I call it, it's like my notebook. And I would be happy to provide in the class a large amount of tips and tricks that I'm thinking of when I'm doing music, so it can be useful for other people. And this will be a bit all over the place, like any type of ideas and thing, right? Not so, protocol, scholarship sort of attitude. The whole class is not too scholarship either, but yeah, so get the idea. Last section, this is one of the last section, is about the studio acoustic treatments, room corrections, studio equipment. Let's speak about that, then I want to show you the studio, what I use and how I designed it, how I designed the hardware, how I designed the sort of workflow around the studio, because when you have a good space to work in, it's so much more pleasant to make music. showing my modular rig also. It's not that impressive, but still, I like it. Pretty efficient. Lots of DIY stuff. And yeah, I would be keen to display that a little bit on the class. And yeah, information about the building, a bit of a history, which is a bit more personal, but you know, you watch it if you want. No obligations here. Yeah, next is working on your stuff. So if you don't know, yeah, you know, you want some feedbacks on your mix, and or you send me stems of your mix, and I can sort of try to work on it and improve it. I'm totally happy to do that. I just cannot process 20 students' tracks in one day. So just the rhythm of it has to be sort of fitting my schedule, but also, yeah, I'm just happy to help you out with your own stuff and yeah, get you there. Then a little section about requested videos, like hey Vince, how did you do this sound, or how can you make this, and then I can make a video here to answer you. That is about it. Then various sections. I don't know, there are probably quite a few things I haven't thought about yet, so I will. Yeah, this is a list that is what it is today, and totally going to upgrade as things improve and things get more concrete, and you know, you cannot think about everything all the time. Cool. So yeah, that totally gives you the idea of this class and what you're gonna get. So in green, it's what it's made today, and I'm working hard on, you know, getting all this done. So I guess end of May, end of June should be, yeah, quite a lot more. Don't expect to have 10 tracks demonstration done by then, but you know, I'm working regularly. So yeah, come and visit. This document will be updated as the time passes and as things are being made. And yeah, if you join, hopefully you enjoy the class. I'm fully here to listen to your comments and ideas and inputs, everything. Please get in touch, answer your questions, and I hope you enjoy and I hope you like it. So cool. Have a good one. Speak to you soon.